Akala ko naisip mo yung amo mo na parang Diyos kasi ayaw nila magtrabaho. So, ikaw yung inuutusan.
Oo, pwede din ng ganun, di ba? Parang subconsciously, ganun yung naisip natin. Grabe itong amo kong to. Wala siyang ginagawa, kundi naman lang tapos makinig lang ng Mariah Carey out loud, di ba? Hi, Langga.
This is Jared.
And this is Apple.
Welcome to the Langga Speaks podcast.
Join our beloved conversations
about God's love and joy. Hello everyone, welcome to the Langga Speaks podcast. We've been out for 2 weeks and we are quite aware of that.
Yes.
It's the longest gap ever.
Sabi ko, yes, I agree.
It's the longest gap ever in the history of this podcast.
In the 3-year history of our podcast, yeah.
So many things have been happening. First of all, we have undergone a lot of kid stuff. We've embarked on a new journey of me swimming after 34 years with them. And believe it or
34 years with who?
Huh?
34
years of my life. I had to wait for them. Sorry. And now, I've been in the class of Zaylee. Hindi man lang ako na linya sa class ng mga 5-year-olds. Doon ako sa 2-year-old. Ganun yung level ko. sobrang wagi.
Okay lang. Michael Phelps in the making daw.
Yes.
At least when it comes to the swimming, ha? Swimming lang.
Hinihintay ko nga bigyan ako ng floaties tong coach ko eh. Pero sabi niya, abot mo naman yung tubig.
Ay,
so,
oo naman. Uy, grabe ka naman. Hindi ka naman ka-level ni Inday. Hindi mo naman kailangan naman. Kaya mo naman mag-float. Kaya good on you.
True. And then another thing is, it has been a busy 2-week journey. Kasi marami din, change of weather din dito. Iba nga yung boses ko ngayon, no? Tapos magre-record pa po tayo.
Oo. Tapos
but we're so happy because we're being able to launch a new collection in Halo, which is Gabay, by The Feast. And it's such an honor to be able to read people's reflection every single day. Yon, isa yon sa mga bagay na we wanted to share with you guys. And of course, the fact that I have also been kinda reassigned at work.
True.
So I am adjusting very
to
much.
To Excel. Umuwi po siya mga langga. Nasabog po yung utak niya kasi he hasn't, for the past 2 weeks.
For the past 2 weeks,
he hasn't had this level of
2
exposure.
Weeks, oh my gosh. 2 weeks na
siya.
Yung bago kong work. And I have not been doing that job for 4 years already because I've been in a different department. And now they brought me back to this department that requires me to do a lot of Excel. So the VLOOKUP makes me go up. In
and
short,
down,
lutang.
And left and right. Kaya
yes.
medyo mahirap
gosh.
din mag-align mentally din pag-uwi.
In short, kaka-pivot table ko, nag-pivot na po yung Langga Speaks podcast. But we're trying to make this a weekly thing pa din. Don't worry, we're okay. We need your prayers more than ever. It's just a different season in our life. And we've learned to embrace imperfection as we go along.
How nice of you to say so.
And because as we are going through this, bago tayo magsimula, shoutout lang tayo, isa sa mga nakikinig at naghihintay pa din. Sa
2-week delay yung
2-week delay, kahit 2-week delay.
Shoutout niya.
Yes, I'd like to say hi to Jem Cordeta. Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you for requesting the shoutout.
Yes, and talagang natawa siya dun sa Lato-Lato Olympic journey ko. I'm so sorry I shifted to swimming. So, Lato-Lato has to wait.
At least hindi siya ganun kaingay.
But speaking of, bakit ganito ang ating topic ngayon? Is because napapanahon. Kasi nangyari nga tong sudden shift in my work. And also with you. Kasi talagang nag-a-adjust ka sa dalawa. They're having their own little world while you're homeschooling Joseph and taking care of...
Nag-homeschooling pa ba kami? Kasi...
Parang delay ni anak natin, pero kalas.
Macau delay. Grabe ka. Kindergarten
I put it on you
na.
kasi you're the teacher. It is my responsibility as the principal to assess your performance as a teacher. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about work. And how work is not a curse. Di ba po sinabi natin yun, haram, parang dapat di natin pinag-uusapan to. Pero di ba a lot of us think nowadays na pabigat yung work. It's so easy to say it. We can even say na pabigat yung podcast, let's say. It's a work in itself. and pabigat yung trabaho natin kasi nakakasira ng pagpa-podcast. So, di ba? So, we can say all of these things, but the fact of life remains that our lives are gonna be spent working.
Yeah, so our episode today is based, a lot of it is based on the recent talk given by Father Mike at
Schmitz.
the Seek conference last January, if I'm correct, if I'm not mistaken, 2023. And a lot of the stats that we're going to be giving is UAE based.
Of course, we're here.
Because we're based here. If you're in the Philippines or around the world, it could be that the trends would be the same. Maybe the figures wouldn't be accurate, but the trends would be probably the same.
For sure, ramdam nyo rin yung pagiging overworked. Feeling nyo parang walang patutungan yung ginagawa nyo. So it was the same for me in the past 2 weeks. I was kasi ang feeling ko, na-demote ako sa work. I mean, to be honest with you mga langga, hindi naman sa nabawasan yung sweldo ko, but I was brought back to the work that I did 4 years ago. So in my mind, in the way I'm actually approaching it, parang I was demotivated talaga. Hindi parang I was really demotivated and disappointed at the same time. And so I started looking for things to make sense of what I'm going through. And this was one of the talks that really gave a spark and new perspective on me. That's why we wanted to share it with you. Alam niyo dito sa UAE is actually the third hardest working country in the world. Based on the 2023 stat, so ibig sabihin 46.5% of workers are actually logging 49 or more hours per week in the UAE than in any country. Imagine 52.6 hours per week, which means 46.5% ang overtime. So kung total natin that we're gonna work until 65, that's gonna be 177,788 hours. 66.6% ng waking life namin will be spent working or at work. Imagine that.
According to the 2020 census here in the UAE, 59.8 or approximately 60% of married couple households had both parents employed. One such example would be Jeric and I, which means that over half of the families in the UAE have two working parents. In comparison, only 15 years before that, in 2005, only 46.3%
Imagine, di ba?
were of yung pareho nagtatrabaho yung mga magulang. The thing is, they found out that they're not just as work because they want to work, but because they feel they need to, because of the rising costs in economy, yung the cost of raising a family, of just trying to meet not only yung wants but yung needs, or it could even be kasi yung na-upgrade yung lifestyle nila, so they have to catch up.
Also, uncertainty. Especially when the pandemic happened, we always feel that kulang. Parang kailangan natin i-make up yung mga lost years, or we need more security.
Right.
So, this is a need. Parang feeling natin this is not because we want to, because they feel they need to. In Japan, there's actually a term for people dying because of overwork. Annually pala, 10,000 yung namamatay sa Japan.
Scary, no?
Yes, it's called kuroshi.
Pero if you think about it, siguro around the world, nangyayari din siya. And at those scary figures, hindi lang napapoint out or hindi lang nare-record na ganon.
Especially in the UAE. Imagine, ang UAE worker versus a Japanese worker, it actually works 873 hours or 36 days more per year than an average Japanese person.
Hala siya. Kung taga-UAE yung mga langga natin ngayon, baka mamaya sasabihin nila na it's so demotivating to work here. Diba?
True. And in the recent Global Workplace 2023 survey, 27% are engaged by their work. 27% lang dito sa UAE. So the rest, hindi sila disengaged sila. Wapakils. I think that was what I was feeling back then. In my past year, I think, I was already quiet quitting. Quiet quitting meaning I'm just doing the bare minimum at work. So what do you think? What should we do? In this case, nakakatakot kasi 21% dito sa UAE actually are angry daily because of their work.
Which is scary. Imagine,
sila,
umaga pa lang galit ka na.
Hindi ka pa nagkakape, bitter ka na.
So what do we do when it's like when when we find yourself in a situation like that? Some of us might think na hindi, tiisin ko na lang. Tiisin ko lang tong mga drama na to, yung mga stress na to. Then hopefully I can get to retire. And then if ever na I was able to have something saved up, maybe I'll be able to start my life only after, or start living my life only after retirement. But if you think about it, that's actually not not what God wanted for us.
It's not a Christian
It's not
view.
a Christian view of how work is. Baka akala nung natin, because we were made for work, sige, todo work lang.
Hindi, a lot of us Christians, we assume that we are working, it's because of the fall. Ako, kung di nangyari yan kay Adan at Eva, hindi sana kami nagwo-work ngayon.
Yeah, because we always hear that translation, or we hear that teaching that because of the fall, Adam and Eve were sent out. Yeah, had to toil in the fields in order to produce their own food, to feed themselves, to make themselves make their life worth living. But this view of work, of it being a curse, is more pagan than Christian, to be honest. The Greco-Roman view of work, or even the Middle Eastern view of work, was that work was invented by the gods because they didn't want to do it. So nangyari, they created human beings to be slaves because they themselves didn't want to work. Kaya na pag naisip mo, kunwari, naisip ko tuloy yung story na...
Kala ko naisip mo yung amo mo na parang Diyos kasi ayaw nila magtrabaho, so ikaw yung inuutusan.
Oo, pwede din na gano'n, di ba? Parang subconsciously, ganun yung naisip natin. Grabe itong amo kong to, wala siyang ginagawa, kundi naman lang, tapos makinig lang ng Mariah Carey out loud, diba?
Wala pang Christmas. All I want for Christmas is yun ni Mariah Carey na pinapakinggan.
True story yun. True story yun sa kapatid, diba? Tapos yung tipong, like, naalala ko dati, yung story na, yung Disney movie, yung Hercules. Diba yung mga gods, dun siya nakatira sa may Mount Olympus. Tapos puro party lang sila. Tapos yung nagpapakahirap, yung mga tao sa baba. Diba?
Correct. Tapos kahit yung mga ibang pelikula, di ba, kailangan mag-pray sila para lumakas yung mga gods. Ganun yung view. So, a lot of us, actually, yung pagan viewpoint na yon, we carry it. But the Christian view of work is actually the Judeo vision of work is actually from Genesis 1, which means that, which shows us that the first picture of God that we get is a worker. Di ba, no creation, sa 7th day nga lang siya nagpahinga. But He was working the first 6 days.
God hustled.
You know, a lot of us think that work is a curse, but in reality, it's not a burden because at His heart, the God we believe in is also a worker. Diba? You were made to work. The first commandment is actually to cultivate and care for the garden. Meaning to work and to guard, to go to work. So, kailangan hindi natin makalimutan yun. Kasi minsan inisip natin na ayoko na magtrabaho.
Ako I learned something new. Kasi dati akala ko yung first commandment is go forth and multiply. Hindi
ba
na.
Yan? May iniisip mo kasi lagi eh. Go forth and multiply eh. Dumadami tuloy tayo eh.
True.
So, basically, in the beginning of Genesis 1 and 2, we were made for 3 things. These 3 things are labor, leisure, and love. And the fact that these 3 things exist is actually a way for us to express us being made in the image and likeness of God. Of course, di naman doon natatapos yun, no? Ito na, punta na tayo sa Genesis 3. Doon nangyari yung the fall. And because of the fall, na-twist yung labor, leisure, and love.
What happened is that we do not know, we lost sight of what labor, leisure, and love actually mean. For example, we don't know how to leisure. Kunwari, feeling natin yung the way for us to relax is just to hold our phones and scroll.
And send reels to one another, to your husband. Right? Parang leisure na sa'yo. Kasi tawa ka na kasi.
Excuse me, hindi na ako tumatawa kanina.
Especially yung mga leisure mo, yung parang magsisend ka ng reels. Tapos, ako kailangan ko na mag-set up. Tapos nanonood ka pa ng mga dyan, yung Uncle Roger.
Uncle Roger. Kasi naman nakakaloka yung adobong version ni. I mean, who would have heard of adobo na ganun yung pagluluto? Anyway, so yun. So, saan ba ako ulit? So,
we don't marunong mag-leisure.
We don't know how to enjoy. We really don't know what leisure is anymore. Kasi it could either be na meaningless, thoughtless, mindless scrolling, or just collapse. Yung parang pag sa sobrang pagod, sige matutulog na lang ako. Para
Iba
sa atin,
nahuhulugan
leisure.
pa ng phone sa mukha
Oo, kasi we don't know how to experience leisure anymore. Kahit yung labor.
Actually, yung love muna. Kasi yung love, diniscuss naman natin to sa last episode.
Ilang beses na.
Sa last episode, di ba, diniscuss natin who am I. So, love was twisted. I mean, we don't need to, that's the whole episode of 170. That's what it's about. And yeah. And then, of course, twisting. Katulad nung example natin sa past episode, kina-crumple yung paper.
That's right.
So, yung labor ganun din, na-crumple din.
Labor now for us human beings, the way how we view it, is merely toil. Toil yung tipong fruitless siya. Wala siyang reason, wala siyang rhyme, wala siyang meaning. Or it could be the opposite end. Now, we find our identity in labor na kailangan magtrabaho ako. I identify myself through what
My work
I'm
is
doing.
me.
Oo. Kung ano yung title ko sa trabaho, yun ako. At kung ma-demote man ako, kung matanggal yung title na yan, kung wala na akong trabaho or mabawasan yung sweldo ko, wala na akong purpose, wala na akong value sa mundo.
Alam mo, yan yung talagang tinanong ko sa sarili ko. Bakit ko nararamdaman to? Have I attached myself to what I'm doing? And so I talked to you about it, 'di ba? Sabi mo, okay lang naman na disappoint ka. But then,
kasi tao naman tayo eh.
Pero alam mo naman yung nasa puso mo na, 'di ba? Lagi mo ang sinasabi sa mga talk mo na ang dapat ang attachment lang natin kay Lord. That your worth comes from Him and not from what you do. And so it was a battle on what I was feeling that time. Parang battle siya talaga nitong past 2 weeks sa akin na to really believe what my heart tells me versus what my head tells me. Talagang it's a tug of war. Na no. You know, pwede ko kasi sabihin na, God has a purpose. Hindi eh. No matter what I do, minsan toxic din yung sobrang positivity lang eh.
True.
I had to really embrace that pain, to go through that frustration, and then recalibrate. I was journaling a lot. I was putting my frustrations on paper. And then reminded myself, bro, made in His image and likeness. And then I heard this talk, and I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel.
And as your wife, it was my role, I think, na to be able to support you in not parang stopping you from going through that process. Kasi mawawala yung meaning eh. 'Di ba? Mawawala yung pagka-appreciate mo dun sa process. If I just say, ay hindi, wala yan, bali wala lang yan. No, because we are human and we need to go through those emotions for us to be able to understand na God was with us through it all. 'Di ba?
So salamat lang ka.
So ito yung toil, diba? Toil is work that feels fruitless, na siguro na experience natin yun at some point or even right now while you're listening, na you're putting so much work, OT ka ng OT, but
or
there's no fruit. Or
nagko-costume ka na nga, diba? Nagko-costume ka na nga na talagang beyond your job description, pero parang wala palang fruit yun.
May hugot talaga sila kasi ginawa niya talaga yun. Gumawa siya ng costume, kumuha siya ng superhero name inspired by Joseph, tapos nagpresent pa siya in front of children, students,
parang
sa
it just
school.
means nothing. Like, you know,
there's
like
no
to go
fruit.
to go beyond things. Anyway, there's no fruit. Parang it's work
Whether
that feels...
it be emotionally, mentally, or even financially, walang incentive, di ba? Parang,
oh
ano
my
ba talaga?
Huwag pa tayo dito.
Hindi, sinasabi ko lang, di ba?
Correct.
Minsan may mga ginagawa tayo sa trabaho we're asked or we're expected or we just go beyond and it feels na, what's the point?
What's the point? Wala man lang recognition.
No one recognizes, or someone, or worse, someone would take the recognition or the credit of what you were doing.
True.
Yung mas masaklap pa doon pag amo mo or hindi mo nga amo.
Oh no!
Kinukuha pa niya yung credit.
Baka mapangalanan natin dito.
Huwag na. Pero marami nakaka-relate doon, di ba? Marami nakaka-relate doon.
So in order for us to drive the point down, we are gonna kind of describe this in parallel with relationships. Na-discuss na natin ito sa podcast, you know, as we were diving in the book of Dr. Edward Sri in Men, Women, and the Mystery of Love, that there are 4 types of relationships. And so these 4 types of relationships can be related to work. Number 1 is meron tinatawag na toxic relationship. Kailangan pa bang i-memorize yan? Alam na natin yan.
Si Britney Spears.
Ang dami na nating diniscuss about toxic relationship. And toxic relationship, kung may toxic relationship, meron ding toxic work. Pag nakita mo yung work na yon, ay, Di na kailangan pag-usapan pa. Mag-resign ka na, lumipat ka na, maghanap ka ng ibang opportunity because these are the type of work na slavish work. It dehumanizes you. Okay? You have to be discerning, ha? Hindi porket feeling mo para kang slave, dehumanize ka na. Baka naman mahirap lang talaga yung trabaho. Dehumanizing means talagang wala na yung dignidad mo. Hindi mo na feel talagang pumasok dahil na-violate na yung pagkatao mo. These are the toxic work that you have to stay away from.
Pero disclaimer, may mga tao talaga winawagayway nila ang pagka-banner ng pagka-alipin. Kasi for them, they find identity na sobrang alipin. Oo, sobrang alipin ko sa trabaho. Pero but they find validation in announcing how hard they're having it. How hard they're having it at work. Kasi for them, it feels na, okay, I'm still needed.
Ayun.
Yun nga lang, it's toxic and they fail to recognize it as that. Number 2, useful relationships. Ito yung parang mga relationship na, okay, you're just in it together kahit walang emotion because there's a common goal.
There can
right?
also be an emotion involved. Like, let's say colleagues kayo. You have a project.
Of
course, you have
a common
to work.
Goal,
you
pero
have a common goal.
You have a common goal.
Or study group kayo. I mean, para kayo pumasa, alam ka naman makigrupo ka sa mga taong mangongopya lang sa'yo.
Parang nalala ko yung mga... That's why I really didn't like group work talaga.
Siyempre, makikigrupo ka dun sa study work na talagang mag-study kayo. Hindi lang kayo magdodota, hindi lang kayo mag-League of Legends.
Wow.
Hindi lang kayo mag-Mobile Legends, di ba? Yun yung mga useful relationships. The same thing with work. There is such a thing as...
useful work. This is where we have to do the work because it needs to get done. Right? Yung parang, okay, I just need to get over and I have to do this.
I have to do this. For example, may mga trabaho na nagbara yung lababo. Alam mo, hindi mo gawin yun. There's certain things that you really need to get done. You know, you really need to do. So, yun yung useful work.
Parang pag may laman yung diaper ng anak natin, I need to clean her. I don't enjoy it. I just need to clean her because it has to get done.
So, useful work.
Number 3 are yung mga pleasant relationships.
So pleasant relationships, yung mga friends mo sa, pag pumupunta kayo ng mga K-pop concert. Diba? Sama-sama kayo doon. Pero, hindi mo siya i-invite sa mga small group nyo kasi pang K-pop concert lang siya. So, pleasant, pagkasama mo sila, makakainuman, no? Minsan, pwedeng categorize yun as pleasant friendships.
So, when it comes to work, there's also pleasant work.
Yeah.
Na kahit hindi siguro balance yung financial rewards, you do it because you enjoy doing it. Kasi masaya siya.
Oo, kaya volunteering.
Totoo. Yung pagsuserve sa ministry.
Pwede din.
It could be na you enjoy it, diba? Kaya ginagawa mo.
Oo. So, hopefully, hindi lang pleasant work yung sa ministry.
Ayaw naman. Example lang naman. Yung iba nga mga bago, yung kaka-feast lang. Pero yung mga nagsiserve ng mga ilang taon na, hindi na pwede ganun. Pag nandun ka pa rin, mag-usap tayo.
Hindi na pleasant yun.
Number 4 are your virtuous friendships.
Yes.
And translate that to work. Yung virtuous friendships kasi are those friendships that make one better as a person, make you a better version of yourself. When you translate that to work, ito yung tinatawag na meaningful work. Yung it's the human side of work as how we see it. When we feel connected, when we feel na there is purpose behind what we are doing.
You're part of the entire process, kumbaga. Ramdam mo. Kasi sa mundo natin ngayon, parang nahiwalay na. No? Pagka nasa isang kumpanya ka, iniisip mo na, basta ito lang gagawin ko. Ito lang scope ng work ko. Bahala ka na kung
ano mangyayari after.
Yung next output, kung ano bahala dyan.
Tapos ganun talaga, diba? Especially if you're part of a big company, hindi mo alam kung anong ginagawa ng tao sa process before you. When it comes to you, ginagawa mo na yung part mo, but you don't know what will happen after. Parang gano'n. It's so fragmented that you don't really see the entire view, right?
Like, parang, bakit ko ginawa to? Anong impact nito sa overall? Parang you don't know how to map it. So, back then, actually, lahat may connected work. Kahit na farmer ka, let's say, ikaw yung nagtanim ng seed, alam mo, part ka ng entire process that because you planted that seed, you know how to see it through until it goes to harvest. So, this is the thing that we wanted to do. This is the thing that we wanted to achieve. How do we have connected work? So 3 things yung nirecommend, di ba?
Number 1, the work has to be connected to a goal. Number 2, there has to be some kind of meaning behind the work that we're doing. And number 3, we're supposed to have some kind of autonomy, or rather the ability to make our own decisions while performing this work.
You know, as I was going through my transition, ito yung mga nakita ko sa new work ko. Hindi ko in-expect. Like, it started at the, Thursday, Friday last week, na I asked, ano bang goal? So, he gave me a goal. And then, ano bang meaning? I mean, what's the meaning behind what we're doing? So, he explained it. And at the same time, right now, he's also giving me autonomy. Now, okay, wala akong masyadong concern on how you will do it. I'll let you decide. If you want to send that email, send that email. Send that person right now, send it. Bahala ka kung what you see best in the process. Which, in a way, kind of empowers me. So, earlier, kanina, he asked me, actually, the guy that I'm working with right now, the new guy, and he asked me, do I feel happy with the current thing that I'm doing? I told him, honestly, I was frustrated at first. I was disappointed because I'm not sure what I'm getting into. And at the same time, sabi ko naman, I cannot totally say I'm happy with the overall thing, but I'm getting the hang of it, of really appreciating this new experience. Kasi nga, I believe, because I kind of ticked off the list of these 3 things. So imagine, how God works in our life. If we just give it some chance and we actually pray for it. To be honest, it was it was more of an ego thing for me. It was hard on my ego. But at the same time, it's refreshing. Nagugulat na lang ako, patapos na yung araw. And I've accomplished things already. So,
nakakapanibago ba?
Nakakapanibago yun. Oo, promise. Kasi nga, yung una na, hindi ko matrack yung workday ko eh. Para I'm doing one thing that is totally unrelated to the first thing I was doing in the morning. So I feel in my previous role that I was starting a lot at the same time, but I wasn't progressing. Yun yung nararamdaman ko noon. Because I didn't know what the goal was. I was just being asked to start this and that. Anyway, so, of course, incentives can only go as much. Diba? Pwede naman taasan yung sweldo mo or whatever. But then, hanggang saan lang aabot yun? Hindi naman lahat na dadaan sa pera lang. Diba? Kaya kailangan din talaga natin ng meaning sa ginagawa natin. Of course, like what you said, nandyan yung mga temptations. Nandun talaga yung mga temptations eh. Yung una is, walang point yung ginagawa natin. And then yung pangalawa na nasabi mo is, yung work, it becomes something that gives you your identity.
Right. This is empty work, right? Empty work na work is simply toil, that there is no purpose, there's no meaning behind it. But empty work gives rise for the desire for work that allows me to be human. It allows me to be me. But it also gave rise for the work that is me for being me. So, yung empty work na to
can go both ways. So, it can go like yung work na, okay, empty yung ginagawa ko, so I want to find meaning in what I do. I want to be able to kind of search and seek for better opportunities. That's one. But then, it also gives a rise for the desire to have an expressive kind of work na, gusto ko ng trabaho na pwede kong express yung tunay kong pagkatao.
Right, exactly. Which is something that all of us, I think, as humans, desire at our very core. Because we want to be able to just experience yung nakikita tayo bilang isang tao. It's in our search of knowing who we are, to be part of that idea, to be part of that as well, to be able to express kung sino tayo. There's a term called, tawag nito?
Okay. So basically, before you say the term, just to give you context to the term yucky. So the term yucky, because there is such a thing called yuppie. These are the people who wanted to earn
the
money.
The generation.
As young as possible, earn money. And then there's another spectrum of that, which are the hipsters. Yung mga hipsters naman, wala silang pakialam sa pera. They just want to express themselves. Just be on the flow of life. But then there's yucky, which is kind of common nowadays because
You see a rise of it.
You see a rise of it because of social media. So these are people who wanted to make money by just being themselves. Na parang unique akong tao and I need to get paid for being myself.
And you see this a lot in social media influencers, right? That they project themselves to be so unique apart from other influencers. And because they are so unique in the services or in the image that they project, that they deserve to be paid. Alright? Yun. Yung tipong, I am so unique that because sa sobrang unique ko,
Bayaran niyo ako.
Bayaran niyo ako. Kasi I can allow others to see what you want them to see kasi nga nakita nila ako kasi sobrang unique ko.
Correct.
But this expressive individualism
Can infect us.
Can infect us in a very negative way sa totoo lang. Kasi it encourages this kind of thinking that may sound so romantic, it may sound so idealistic, of finding your passion and pursuing your passion kasi yun ka eh. You found kung sino ka, you found na sobrang unique mo, and you deserve to be paid for it.
Parang ako, let's say, ang passionate ko sa coffee, sabihin ko ganun. Tapos bakit ganun? Hindi nila ako ini-employ or bakit hindi ako binabayaran for being so me in my passion for coffee. So if you do not pay me based on what I think of myself, I will feel less of myself. So yun yung nangyayaring toxicity with this kind of thinking. And it doesn't help with the self-help industry saying na yung find your passion and pursue your passion.
Right.
Even Steve Jobs said that, no? Find your passion and pursue your passion. Sounds nice, sounds correct, but it's not entirely true.
Yun nga. It sounds so romantic. It sounds so idealistic. It sounds so practical.
But if we look at the life of Steve Jobs himself, if he followed his own advice, his passion was not computers or making microchips or making people's lives easy. Yung pinaka-passion niya sa buhay is Zen Buddhism. That's the reason why he died, actually, because he knew he had cancer, but he wanted to do an alternative method of healing himself. He was so passionate in Zen Buddhism that it gave birth to Apple because he wanted a thing to fund his passion for Zen Buddhism. So the thing that actually works more than find your passion and pursue your passion is actually we have to seek the opportunity, pursue the opportunity, get really good at it, and then find a way to be happy. Again, seek the opportunity, pursue that opportunity, try to be good at it, get really good at it, and find a way to be happy.
The problem with that is there are so many steps and it seems so complicated and requires more effort. Yung to go beyond yourself. Kaya siguro hindi siya masyadong popular sa mga tao ngayon. Yeah. Right? Kasi pag sinabi mo na find your passion, pursue your passion, it's playing
so
to your emotions. And especially when your emotions are high, feeling mo, kaya mo lahat. But when you look at what is actually more practical and the way that would probably bring more success in your life, the success that you're looking for, you seek the opportunity, pursue the opportunity, get really good at it, and find a way to be happy. It requires a lot more effort, and then it requires less of your emotions being high all the time, and requires more persistence in pursuing what it is that you want to do.
I think one of the examples that I can give to this in line with this is, let's say, the voiceover thing. I seek that opportunity. It wasn't my passion to begin with, but I saw it as an opportunity to add value to people, an opportunity to earn extra on the side, and so I'm trying to be good at it. And eventually, people will think na soyo-soyo naman yan, nagre-record ka for Halo. It requires effort. I have to get up when my son and daughter are sleeping na at 10 p.m. I have to get out of my bed from 10 to 12 or to 10 to 1 or depende or 10 to 2. Thank you, Burns, for gabay. 10 to 3 na. So, I have to be good at it, but I still need to find a way to be happy about it because it's not something that automatically it's pleasant to do.
Oo, hindi. Kasi, syempre naawa din ako kay Langga. Kasi, nag-hustle siya when he should have been sleeping.
Yeah. But again, this is an opportunity that I decided to pursue. And I really want to be good at it because I know that there's a meaning attached to it. There's a goal. And at the same time, there's an autonomy for me to express how I wanted a particular output to be. And so I find it to be one of the things that I can consider as my connected work in life. So, yun mga langga. It's something to consider because actually based on studies, only 10% of our happiness is a result of our external circumstances. This includes your job, your relationship status, where you live, what work you do. Only 10%. Which goes to show na marami pala tayong control within our control sa buhay natin. You have more control on your own happiness than you might think or assume.
For all of these reasons, to affect how they see themselves to be happy. And they think that they will never be happy anymore because there are so many external pressures. When in reality, like what you said, all of these external factors will only have only a 10% effect on our happiness. So, Father Mike invites us to consider the rediscovery of something called vocation. In the discovery and pursuit of our own happiness.
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to work. Ano yung vocation?
So, vocation, pag sinabi mo yan, bokasyon, parang ang unang pumapasok sa isip natin.
Pagiging pare, pagiging madre.
Pagiging kasal, or pagiging single blessed. But in reality, the word in itself just means that I have been called out of myself by another. Meaning that vocation is something where you do not get your identity, it's where you bring your identity to. And the way we do this is in two ways. How do you know your vocation? First is you look up, and then the second is you look in.
Looking up is when you hear the call from God. This is when you are aligned with, you've aligned your hearing to the voice of God, and you're also able to recognize kung ano yung kailangan ng mundo. Right? That's when you look up. You look beyond what you're just seeing. You look beyond what you think that your life can bring. Number 2 is looking in. Number 2 is when you realize na meron ka na pala talagang worth. You have a value. You have an identity that you need to bring into this world. When you've captured that, when you've recognized that, you also ask yourself the question, do I have what it takes to meet the need that the world the need that the world has? And do I also have the ability to meet that need? But most importantly, do we also ask the question, do I also want to?
So again, it's about knowing that you have worth already. It's not attached to your work. That your work and my work is not about self-expression, but about you donating yourself to that work. Because it's not where you get your identity, it's where you give yourself away. Because everything that you do has dignity because you are doing it. You are made in His image and likeness. So because of that, wag mong i-assume na walang kwenta yung ginagawa mo. Balikan mo, sino yung gumawa sa'yo? Saan ka galing? Sino yung Diyos na nagbigay ng buhay sa'yo? If we look at the lives of the Greeks, they would think that their God is a philosopher king. The Romans, they would think that it would be a statesman. But then, when God did become one of us, He became someone that we did not expect, that the people there did not expect because He came in a package na hindi in-expect ng mga Jews. Right? They were expecting a warrior king.
Right.
But then,
someone to liberate them from the political influence of the Romans. That's
exactly, right. Exactly. Someone who would fight for them like physically, like David
did. And Goliath,
with Goliath. And so when it happened and Jesus arrived, the Greek term for the word carpenter, kasi inisip lagi natin carpenter si Jesus, but it's actually the Greek word tekton. And the word tekton simply means laborer. So for sure, He wasn't just doing woodwork because during the time that he was growing up with Joseph, merong Roman town na binibuilt. So the image of tektons are actually laborers carrying stones from one place to another.
Isipin yung mga langga, especially kung taga Dubai kayo. the people who are working in like the non-stop structures here, yung mga construction workers, that's what Tecton defines. Tama?
Yes. So what does that mean for us, Langga? Knowing that Jesus is a Tecton, is a laborer.
Sa totoo lang, it brought, when I was listening to it, yung a new level of humility.
Me too.
Na yung pag naisip ko, kasi may it became romantic na yung image na God was born in a stable tuloy. Oh, tama. Yung he was born and then he was laid in a manger and there were angels around. But if you think about it, if you translate it, kunwari dito sa Dubai, siguro wala siya sa hospital. Pinanganak lang siya sa bahay. And not even in one of the sosyalen flats. It's one of the shared flats. 'Di ba? Tapos yung tatay niya, hindi naman office worker. Yung tatay niya nagtatrabaho sa araw. And then like if you live in the UAE, you would know that right now we're reaching upwards of 50 degrees during the day. And that's the kind of life that Jesus led and reveals to us that not only did God put on yung flesh and became man, but he also took on that work that was associated with it. It reveals to us that God is a worker and he continues to work sa atin. And one of the things that Father Mike said that really struck was yung sinabi niya, there is no such thing as worth that's beneath you. Lahat ng mga ginagawa natin bilang tao, every work that you and I do is human work. Whether it be yung paghugas ng puwet ng mga anak mo, whether it be nag-aalaga ka ng mga magulang who are invalid and who are unable to take care of themselves, or even your caregivers, or you could be in the construction and you're laying down pipes in the heat, or you could even be overtime for the past 6 months sa office nyo na walang nag-recognize sa work mo. There is no such thing as work that is beneath you. Why? Because your work does not define kung sino ka. Work is not where we express ourselves. Work is where we give ourselves.
It's not just about what you do. It's also about who you become. Minsan yung proseso ng paghihirap mo sa trabaho, it's changing something in you. It's doing something in you. It's doing something in me. Yung mga pinagdaanan natin sa nakaraan na work-related. Because, again, work doesn't give us our identity. Work is the place we show up and become a different kind of person.
Sabi nga sa Colossians, chapter 3, verses 23-24, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord.
Amen.
Nakakahiya din, diba? Yung kasi nga sa sobrang sanay tayo na fragmented na yung buhay, fragmented na yung mundo, feeling din natin that God does not see us in our office. God does not see us in our workplace. God does not see us when nobody recognizes us. But God sees us in all things, and God is with us in all things. So even in the work that we think that is beneath us because we are underpaid, we are under-recognized, we forget that God is our audience. And that whatever work we do in whatever form it is, or whatever shape, and whatever na yung financial compensation we get, whether it be above or below our expectation, God is always going to be our audience. And every work we do will always be for the audience of one.
Amen. So yun mga langga, work is not a curse. Importante yung process of work. I was just listening to a podcast going home, and one of the speakers, one of the guests said that it is the process of getting towards your goal that is actually more important than the goal itself. Because it shapes us to be the person that we were meant to be. And it's that process of giving ourselves through our work that allows us to be transformed into the people that God wants us to be. Given, provided that, my requirement, disclaimer,
of course,
that whatever we do, we work it with our whole hearts as for the Lord. Not just for yourself, not just for your ego, not just for your family or for your material goals and ambitions, as for the Lord. So that's it mga langga. This is me, Jeric.
And this is Apple.
Always reminding you na palangga ka sa Diyos.